Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. A slightly more leisurely pace, I think, this morning. I watched back last week's video a couple of days ago. My God, I rattled through that one quick. I was going at the speed of a freight train. It was only because I missed a week and I was trying to cram 2 weeks worth of stuff into 1.5 hour video. I don't think it really worked very well, so we'll slow it down a little bit this week, and if I do start to run over, I'll take a little break, which to you guys will seem like about 10 seconds, and I'll obviously take the video off the hard drive so that I can actually carry on. That's destroying a bit of the magic for you. Hope you've all had a good week. A few shout outs first, as usual. First one is to Scott Anders, Scott the movie critic. I know I've said it on your channel, mate, and I've messaged you and all this sort of thing, but well done on 100 subscribers. Very, very well done, mate. Well deserved. Also, thanks for the shout out on your little video. I will be entering your contest without a doubt. And as I said last night, it will be a sort of a video entry, so I'll chat to you for a good 5 minutes about the answers to those questions. So looking forward to that. But yeah, well done, mate. 100 subscribers, that's brilliant. I've just gone over 50. I believe I'm on 51 or 52 now. I don't know about you, but I'm definitely noticing a bit of a shift. I can't remember the last time I got 3 new subscribers within a week. So you must be noticing the same thing. There's a definite shift in the amount of people that are either watching the videos or subscribing to the channel. So mate, I think that's good. That's really, really good. Everyone that you get makes it worth doing this. So yeah, we'll see what the following few weeks brings. So the new subscribers I've got it all written down here. I've got my notes here. Let's see. First of all, Blu-ray Display. I don't know your name, mate, but I love your channel, absolutely. I've added your channel to my related channels on my YouTube channel, so yeah, keep the content coming, mate, because I'm loving that. Now then, old AF reviewers. I'm assuming that AF stands as fuck, as in old as fuck. I don't know. If I'm wrong, put me right on it, guys, for Christ's sakes. You've never seen a channel quite like this, because I haven't. I described it last night when I messaged them back, because they were sending me messages and I was messaging them back on their videos. And I described it as like Tiz was on crack, and it's very much like that. I've never seen anything like it. It's absolutely brilliant. You've got to check it out. Again, I'll be sticking that channel on my related channels thing on my channel, so you really need to check these guys out. They're absolutely fucking nuts. That's the only way I can put it. As I say, they're called Old AF Reviewers. He messaged me and said that he was going to not ditch the madness, but try and either tone it down a bit. But what I think he was getting at, and what he said to me later, is that he just wanted to separate all the craziness from the actual movie reviews, which I kind of get. But like I said last night, mate, don't lose the lunacy, because that really works well for me. I love it. You never quite know. If you want to catch up with them, they've got a video on there that sums up the sort of the highlights of the last year. And that will give you a very, very good idea of one, whether you're going to like it, and two, whether you want to subscribe or not. I hit the subscribe button straight away as soon as I saw that one. So yeah, they're absolutely amazing. They're just literally mad as fuck. So yeah, I would definitely recommend those guys, Old AF Reviewers. And another one, Ashley Smith. Subscribed to my channel this morning, so welcome, Ashley. Where are you actually from? I'm assuming it's the States, because you recommended a channel called, let me get this, Cinema Sickness, which I will be subscribing to very shortly. I've watched a couple of their little videos, love them. They did one, is it Pam's new video store? I love the location, what a gorgeous place that is. So yeah, I will be subscribing to that channel. I'm just curious to know where you hail from. Are you in the USA or the UK? But wherever you're from, Ashley, welcome to the channel. Feel free to comment on the videos. And to all three of you, you obviously know this already, but I've also got a Facebook page and an Instagram account, and you'll find links to those in the YouTube channel bio. So by all means, I'd appreciate it if you follow me on Instagram, and also if you want to join the Facebook group, feel free to do so. You can post your videos, or you can post anything on there, anything movie related. So yeah, join in by all means. So yeah, that's the shout outs for this week. Let's see. Paramount Plus has launched in the UK. I was toying with the idea, but it turns out I've already actually got it. But it is just as a channel, not just as an app on Sky. So I may still invest in it. I mean, for £6 a month, I don't go anywhere, I don't do anything, I don't drink, I don't smoke. So all I really do is watch movies and read books. So I may just invest in it. And what impressed me more than anything about Paramount Plus was an article they released this week on Facebook, basically stating that they will not be censoring or cutting any of their content to bow to the, I call them the woke brigade, which is what they are. And I think that's great. I really, really think that is absolutely awesome. There are so many channels out there now. I watched UK, well, I don't know, is it called UK Gold anymore? And they screened an episode of The Good Life the other night, which I've seen hundreds of times, love it. And they cut it. The most sickly, sweet, lovely little sitcom from the 70s, and they obviously thought that this one particular line would be offensive to somebody. I just give up with it. I am going to do a whole video on this at some point on censorship, and basically stuff that we're not supposed to talk about anymore. I'm getting really tired of it, but that from Paramount came as an absolute breath of fresh air. I was really, really impressed with that. And just for that reason alone, I think I am going to actually subscribe to them on Virgin Media, so that I can get a look at all the back catalogue that's on there, because I would imagine they'll have all the old Star Trek stuff on there. There'll be a wealth of movies. So for £6 a month, I think it's probably worth it. It only works out about £150 a week, doesn't it? I can live with that. As I say, I already subscribe to Shudder, the BFI player, BritBox. That's the place to watch uncut British comedy and drama, is BritBox, because they don't cut stuff either. So again, that's worth £5 or £6 a month to me to watch these things, you know, uncut, that people are not going to moan about. So yeah, I think I will be subscribing to Paramount Plus. So I'll let you know how that goes. Also heard this week about a proposed Planet of the Apes reboot. It's been a few years since the last movie, which I believe was War of the Planet of the Apes. And what I've heard this week, I think Jason, you posted this. I'm going to credit you with this one, because every week I credit an article with that you've put on, and I always thank somebody else for it. It's usually Guy or Mark or somebody. So yeah, you actually put this one on about the Planet of the Apes reboot, and it sounds like it's going to be interesting. It's going to pick up, by the sound of it, from the end of the War of the Planet of the Apes. I'm not sure how much further they can actually take it, because they're not now a million miles away from where Charlton Heston arrived in sort of 1968 with the original movie. Now, as Planet of the Apes goes, obviously I am going to say that the original series of movies was the best. I think it was either 4 or 5. You got Planet of the Apes, Escape 2, Battle 4, and another one that I can't remember. I'm sure it's 4, but they to me were obviously the best ones. Don't really talk that much about the Mark Wahlberg reboot. I wasn't overly taken with that one, but this last trilogy has been rather good. Quite enjoyed it, so I'm looking forward to seeing what they're going to do with it. They're just waiting for a script to be drafted at this stage, and they're looking at a possible 2023 release, maybe 2024, so we haven't got too long to wait. I do worry about this sometimes, actually. I keep reading about these movies that are going to be turning up in 2024, 2025, and it's like, come on, hurry up, I ain't got long left. I'm 60 years old this year, and all these movies that are coming out or proposed, they sound absolutely brilliant. Um, I just hope I'm going to live long enough to see some of them, but we'll see. But yeah, that sounds worth a look, so I'm looking forward to that one. Absolutely loving the 50 years of film thread. Um, this is the first one I think that I've actually taken part in sort of full throttle. Really, really enjoying it. But guys, it is so difficult to pick three. Um, I think it's getting slightly easier now. I mean, case in point, 1982, Jason, Mark, and Guy picked exactly the same three films. I think it was First Blood, 48 Hours. What was the other one? Can't remember. But you definitely picked the same three films. And like you said, Jason, that was bound to happen at some point. I mean, I've been trying to go for movies that I wouldn't say that you've not heard of, but a little bit sort of under the radar and stuff like that. Um, Basically, just trying to avoid what happened with 1982 because that was a complete car crash. But brilliant. I mean, you've obviously got very similar tastes. I think Chris was another one. I think you picked the same ones as well. Um, so I try to go for slightly more off the radar titles. Not that I don't appreciate the ones that you guys are putting on. They are brilliant movies. 48 Hours I loved. First Blood, excellent. There are lots of other titles on there, and I've looked at them and thought, yeah, absolutely superb. But I'm going to give them something different to look at, which is why I plump for movies like Gregory's Girl, Local Hero, Merry Christmas, Mr. Lawrence. I do tend to go for movies that I think nobody else is going to go for, but I have crossed over a couple of times. It's usually with Caroline. I think we crossed over with Gregory's Girl, and I'm fairly sure we're going to cross over with Local Hero. I've not checked yet, but I'm fairly sure. But that thread is absolutely brilliant. I'm thinking of possibly doing one of my own at some point when I get a bit more time, working backwards from 1972, and see how far I get with that one. Because obviously it'd be 1971, then 1970, 69, and this, that, and the other. And I'm also thinking of putting some small articles or trailers on of the movies that narrowly missed the 50 years of film list, because my God, picking three titles, there are so many that, like I say, it's been really, really difficult. 77 and 78 onwards have been really hard. But we're now coming to the point where we're getting to sort of the mid 80s. Now, about this time, I discovered pubbing and clubbing, and wasn't watching as many films as perhaps I used to do. So it may get a little bit easier for me, but you guys are still going to find it hard. And obviously, then I went to work in the VHS library in Stapenhall. And as much as you would think, as I've said before, that I would have watched loads of films, I didn't. I treated it like a job, so I watched very few. What I did used to get, I remember, I don't know whether I showed any of these to you, Jace, was the screeners that the company used to drop off, VHS copies, time-coded videotapes of movies that were due to be released, sort of, you know, in a month or two, and they used to send them out to the video shops to look at, to basically give them an idea of what's coming out. So we did used to get time-coded copies. I remember getting a time-coded copy of The Living Daylights and getting very excited about that one. So I actually saw that one. Did I see that one at the? I think I saw that one at the cinema. I believe my other half took me to see that, Living Daylights in Derby. But I was still excited to see this time-coded copy. And I really wished I'd have kept some of them. Can you imagine what they'd be like now? If you've not seen a time-coded copy, it's a perfect copy of the movie, but with a clock in the bottom right-hand corner counting down the time. And that's basically all they were. And you used to get this little thing come up, little title saying for your for private viewing only. It lasted about 5 seconds, so you couldn't really do much with it. But it was a great way to see the movies that were coming out. So I've strayed off subjects and I've forgotten what we were talking about. 50 years of film. Yeah, keep them coming, guys. Loving that. I can't remember what mine were for today. I think we're on 1984. I'd need to have a look. I can't remember. Later on, I'm going to be doing a week's worth and scheduling them to go on at 8 o'clock every morning, just in case I don't get time to download the posters and all that sort of thing. So I'm going to try and do a week's worth and take myself up to next Saturday with that one. But yeah, keep that thread going. It's absolutely brilliant. What else have I got here? Callie and Guy. Loved the podcast this week. 80s action movies. Absolutely superb. What have I got here? Cheers for the shout out, by the way. Sorry, Callie. Guy is absolutely right. That list of movies that I haven't seen would be absolutely humongous. It's a standing joke within the group. How many movies I haven't actually seen, classic ones, which is why I do the Sequelophobia segment. Gives me a chance to sort of catch up with some of the movies that I should have seen years ago but actually haven't. So yeah, I'm afraid Guy's right with that one. That list would be absolutely immense, and we would be there for at least a couple of hours if we were discussing the movies that I've not seen. So yeah, he's right on that. But absolutely love that podcast. That was absolutely superb. Not seen Commando. There you go. You see, not seen Commando. I have actually got it on Blu-ray. Bought it a few weeks ago, and it's on the shelf waiting to be viewed. Totally agree with Die Hard. What a movie! Absolutely loved it. Again, that took me a few years to catch up with that one. I think it had been out about 10 years before I actually got the chance to watch it, and thoroughly loved it. Thought it was brilliant. Die Hard 2 was as good, I thought. Not seen 3 or 4, and is there a 5th one? Don't know. But I've not seen those, so that will be cropping up on the Sequelophobia. What others did you mention here? It's good that you didn't just mention franchises, by the way. I was really impressed by that. I thought we were just going to concentrate at first on sort of Stallone, Schwarzenegger, I forgot his name, Schwarzenegger, and all the big sort of action franchises. But it was great that you mentioned, movies like, let me get this, Platoon, Roadhouse, cracking movie with Patrick Swayze. For anybody who thought that he couldn't do anything other than Dirty Dancing, that absolutely proved everybody wrong. Tripping over my words, that means I'm talking too fast. Another one of his, and I saw this many, many years ago, but I can't remember much about it. Next of Kin. Wasn't it something about rednecks and crossbows? Something like that. So that might be worth checking out again. Let's see, what else we got? Oh, Sam Elliott. Oh, Escape from New York. What a brilliant film. I did hear rumours that they were going to remake or reboot it, and I'm going to sound like an old fart here, but Kurt Russell is Snake Plissken, end of. I can't think of anybody else that could play that role, and I know I've said this about many, many different things. The Man Who Fell to Earth, case in point, nobody could play the alien like David Bowie. As it happens, this geezer that they've got playing it now in the TV series is actually very good. Need to catch up with that, by the way. I've only watched the first episode of that. I might even need to recap that first episode and proceed with that one. But the first episode I saw was absolutely superb. So, I mean, who would you get playing Snake Plissken in a remake of Escape from New York? Is it something that could work? I'm fond of saying that, if they can't get the original stuff, I mean, Kurt Russell must be about 80 by now, so it wouldn't really work with him. But who do you think could actually play him? Because I can't think of anybody that offhand. But let me know on that one. Sam Elliott, grizzled old bugger, isn't he? I like his films. The one I remember most is The Legacy, 1978 with Catherine Ross. Where they get invited to a country house. It's a supernatural drama thing. Roger Daltrey is in it. I just thought it was really, really good. And he was superb in that. There was another movie he made. What was it? I've seen a couple of his, and I do enjoy his films. So, yeah, he is a grizzled old bugger, isn't he? What else have we got here? My personal favourites as far as 80s action movies go. Blue Thunder, Roy Scheider. superb. Tango and Cash, I think that just about makes it into the 80s, doesn't it? With about 89. I really enjoyed that one. It was just glossy, stupid entertainment. Stallone and Kurt Russell again. Just really, really good. Really enjoyed that one. Southern Comfort, remember that one from 1981? Keith Carradine. It was a kind of a weird sort of take on Deliverance, sort of. But really, really good. What else have I got? I mean, I've got Red Dawn written down. Patrick Swayze in a lot of the Brat Pack. That's a little bit topical at the moment, isn't it? That's probably not one to recommend, considering the Russian situation at the moment. And what else have I got here? I agree with you totally about Bond. It definitely needs a separate podcast, all of its own. You could probably even do decades, Bond of the 60s, Bond of the 70s. But yeah, Bond definitely requires its own podcast. That's a subject all on its own. So yeah, I completely agree with that. And the other action star that I've not mentioned yet is Jackie Chan. I've only seen a couple of his movies, but wow, what a successor to Bruce Lee. He doesn't take himself too seriously. I've seen Operation Condor, and I've seen another one of his, I can't remember what it was. But I'm looking forward to watching Police Story. And I've also got hold of a copy of The Protector, which I believe is one of Chris's favourite movies. And I was chatting about this with one of my new subscribers. I can't remember which one it was. Who was it? Was it you, Blu-ray, or was it you, old as fuck? I can't remember. But I was chatting about The Protector, and they've recommended that I give that one a watch. So I've got hold of that, so I'll be having a look at that one at some point. Let's see, what else have I got here? Oh, interesting for you, Callie. Read an article this week about Stan Lee. You remember I put on the title sequence for the Spider-Man TV series starring Nicholas Hammond. I think it was yesterday. And it brought back some real memories for me because I used to love watching that. Stan Lee has been quoted as saying that he didn't like it. He didn't like it at all. He thought it wasn't remotely based on his comic books. There were no actual supervillains in there. It was all Spider-Man dealing with like assassins, drug dealers, gangsters, that kind of thing. So you wouldn't have seen the likes of the Green Goblin or Electro or Dr. Octopus or anybody like that in it. And Stanley has said he wasn't keen on it at all. So look that one up on the internet, Callie, and find out more. But that's what I've read. He did not like it. So, right, I'm going to do one of my little breaks here now because I'm hitting 23 minutes. And I don't think I'm going to get through the rest in 7 minutes or so, but we shall see. So I'll take a quick break for a couple of minutes. I'll get rid of this one onto the hard drive, and I'll be back with you in approximately, probably about 5 seconds. Back in a minute. Hey up you lot, welcome back. Now, quickly mention to Guy. I've not forgotten about the Doctor Who update, by the way. I finished The Chase this morning. I've had to order the next one because I suddenly realised I've not actually got it. So I placed an order with Amazon for that this morning. So I will be doing a Doctor Who update more than likely next weekend. And I'll stick that on Retro TV Zone. So just to let you know, I haven't actually forgotten about that. So reviews, what have I been watching this week? I got the chance to watch the new movie All My Friends Hate Me. That is an unusual film, but I absolutely thoroughly enjoyed it. Guy called Tom, is it Stourton or Stanton? I can't remember. Plays a geezer called Pete. Really, really nice bloke. He lives with his girlfriend. He's just returned from doing volunteer work in a refugee camp and gets an invite from an old university pal to come down to his country house for the weekend and celebrate his 30th birthday, Pete's 30th birthday. He accepts. His girlfriend is going to join him later on in the weekend. It starts with a cracking tune by the Doobie Brothers, What a Fool Believes. Very, very upbeat, very nice. And then all of a sudden it starts to turn. He arrives and basically realises very, very quickly that he's the only one out of his little group that have actually grown up. The rest of them are still the same immature dickheads that they were at uni. And what follows is basically a series of really uncomfortable, awkward situations where it looks as though they are deliberately trying to make him feel uncomfortable. It's very, very awkward viewing. It really is. It's really, really well done, beautifully acted. There's a lot of people in there that I've seen them, but I would not have known them. But they are definitely rising stars, and I think they're going to do really well, all of them. It's a kind of a cross between Peter's Friends, which was a Stephen Fry movie from the 90s. Hugh Laurie, I think, was in that as well, and something like Straw Dogs, but without the violence. It's a cracking movie. There's also a guy in there that they have picked up at the pub who seems intent on making Pete think that he's lost his marbles. He just becomes increasingly angry over the weekend. There came a point, and I don't think I'm giving anything away here, no spoilers, because it's actually in the trailer, where he's trying to get into the Land Rover and they keep pulling away from him. They just seem to be deliberately being horrible to him. And it was at that point I found myself literally shouting at the screen, for Christ's sakes, man, grab your car key, because they just leave him standing there in the middle of nowhere. Grab your car keys, get in your car and go home. This is just not... But he doesn't. It is a brilliant movie. It is really, really well worth watching. It's not really a slow burner. It goes straight for the jugular. Thankfully, there was not the kind of violence that I was expecting from it. I thought we were going to come into the last third and it was going to go full on Straw Dogs, and it didn't. But it is well worth watching if you've not seen it. Does the trailer do it justice? Absolutely, and then some. I really, really enjoyed it. I did a review on Letterboxd if you'd care to check it out. But yeah, All My Friends Hate Me, well worth watching, absolutely well worth watching. What else have I got here? Sequelophobia for this week. Lethal Weapon 4. Thoroughly enjoyed it, really, really enjoyed it. I don't know whether I consider it to be the best one. Leo Getz is growing on me, which is a bit late now because this is the last one. But then they throw in Chris Rock. Not the biggest fan of Chris Rock. Take him out of it and it was all right. But yeah, I really, really enjoyed it. It's typical Lethal Weapon. This time they're fighting the triads. I did read an article this week concerning it, that there were several different versions out there. The UK version, when it was initially released, was cut by about 1 minute and 13 seconds. That's quite a lot. And they made a list of the cuts, including neck breaks, garroting, all that sort of thing. The version that's been released on Blu-ray is now uncut, and that's the version that I watched. I really, really enjoyed it, and I'm going to quite miss these two characters. They are just superb, and I know this is no news to you lot because you've seen these decades ago. But to me, it's all kind of new. I'm really looking forward to seeing what they do with Lethal Weapon 5. I loved the closing sequence, which was basically a photo album of the cast and crew and from all the previous movies. But yeah, I've really enjoyed catching up with these. Next, I'm going to stick with Mel for the time being, and I'm going to go through the Mad Max movies. I'm thinking of possibly starting with the original because it's been a while since I've watched it, and it wouldn't really be right to skip straight to the Road Warrior and Thunderdome and all that sort of thing without at least topping up on the original. So I'll be starting the Mad Max movies from next week. So that's the one I'm going to be talking about next week with a bit of luck. Let's see what else we've got here. I had a series recommended to me. It's on Amazon Prime called The Boys. I've heard various things about it. Apparently the violence is appalling, but I'm told that it's absolutely brilliant. Now, I got a chance to watch the first episode this week, and I have to say I was very, very impressed with it. Really, really good. It's not my usual kind of thing. I'm not the biggest fan of superheroes and stuff like this, but this takes it to another level, and it's on a completely different plane from sort of Superman and all that sort of thing. Basically, you've got a world where superheroes are just the norm, and they all belong to one great big corrupt organisation. It's a difficult one to describe. I would definitely recommend it, but if you are of, I would say, a nervous disposition or don't like graphic violence, I would probably avoid it. I don't, as you know, and I just about made it through the first one, and I'm definitely going to stick with it. But I get the feeling this series is going to get extremely dark as we go on. So I'm looking forward to catching up with episode 2, and I'm going to stick with it. But yeah, The Boys on Amazon Prime. If you've got a strong stomach, or a strong enough stomach, I would definitely say have a look at it, because it's well acted, it's well put together, it's just really good. So yeah, I'm looking forward to catching the rest of that. I know I keep looking down at my notes here, I do apologise. Bin it or keep it for this week. Lake Placid. It's an old one, and I have seen it before, and I'm afraid I'm doing a Jason with this one. I'm not just going to do movies that I've not seen and bought blindly. I'm also going to do movies that I haven't seen for a while, and basically just want to see whether they're as good as I remember them being, before I decide to bin it or keep it. Now, this is a DVD. I would really like a copy of this on Blu-ray. As you can probably guess, I enjoyed it. Thoroughly enjoyed it. You all pretty much know what it's about. The cover tells you that. Giant crocodile, alligator, in Lake Placid, killing people. But what sets it apart is the cast. You've got Bridget Fonda, Oliver Platt, and Bill Pullman. The script is superb. It is razor sharp. There are some genuine comic moments in here, real laugh out loud lines. So yes, this is definitely a keeper without a doubt. I had a feeling it would be, but you know, Jace, you'll watch a film sort of 20 years ago, and then you'll look at it now and you'll think, that's crap, and I really enjoyed that years ago. But this is definitely a keeper, and I will be getting a Blu-ray copy of this, so I would imagine this will be going to the charity shop, this particular copy, if I can find a Blu-ray that's cheap enough. So yeah, that's bin it or keep it for this week. Book of the week. I got this a few weeks ago, and I really want to watch it because I love the confession films. This is Robin Asquith's autobiography, The Confessions of Robin Asquith, The Window Cleaner Reveals All. The confession films, as I've said before, were an absolute staple of the 1970s. You couldn't get through a month without one of them turning up at Burt and Odie, and usually on a double bill with a Mary Millington film or something like that. I've seen them all, but quite a while ago, and I need to catch up with them. First, I've got to get myself a decent little box set. I did say the other week, and I stand by this, 1974, let's see, the 50th anniversary will be in 2 years, and I'm really hoping that Columbia jump on that and do an extras packed Blu-ray release of that, a good box set, because I will definitely be first in the queue for that one. But this I'm really looking forward to watching. I bought it a few weeks ago. I think there are some pictures in here, but it just, I get the feeling this is going to be a really interesting autobiography. Obviously Robin Asquith has written it himself, with it being an autobiography. I'm sorry if I've stated the bleeding obvious there. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to having a look at that. Let's see now. Vinyl Corner. Oh, I do love a good musical. Yeah, I know. Not just Footloose and Flashdance and all of that kind of thing, Moulin Rouge, but some of the old classics as well. And this is the one for this week. South Pacific. Some classic tunes on this. Happy Talk. Do you remember the Captain Sensible version of that got into the charts about 1981, possibly 1982? You've also got Some Enchanted Evening, Bloody Mary. I'm going to wash that man right out of my hair. A wonderful guy. So many classic tracks. I do love this song. I haven't seen it for quite a while. I've just bought the Blu-ray a few weeks ago, so I'm looking forward to having a look at that. But what I was going to show you as well is this. This is an original. Now this is in a really tatty state. This belonged to my mum. And just as a quick background story, South Pacific was, I think, the first movie that my dad took my mum to see at the cinema, and they loved it. And he bought her this soundtrack. So this would have been about 1959, 1960. It is a little bit tatty. It's falling apart. There's the vinyl. The vinyl is actually in surprisingly good state, unlike the rest of it. I mean, this is an old thing, but it's a gatefold kind of thing. Well, there you go. So you've got pictures from the movie, loads. There you go. I mean, this is a beautiful thing, despite the fact that it's in a little bit of a state. There's the back of it. But I just felt the need to share that one with you. As I say, this was the first movie that my dad took my mum to see. I presume it would have been, was there a Burton Odeon back then? Or was it the Gaumont or something like that? I'll have to look into that. But that, despite the fact it's in a bit of a tatty state, that is a thing of beauty to me, so I'm quite impressed with that. Now then, I think that's pretty much everything. Quote encounters. I completely forgot it last week, totally forgot it. The answer to the one 3 weeks ago, you probably won't even remember this. I think, Chris, you said that you couldn't get it, you didn't know what it was. It was actually, the line was, fat, drunk and stupid is no way to go through life, son. And the answer was National Lampoon's Animal House, which starred John Belushi and quite a few other people whose name, Donald Sutherland was in that one. But it was the original American Pie type film, the original having a good time at college type movie, the first one, and that was 1978. So that was the answer to that one. Now this one, I think you'll probably get this straight away. It's a movie from the 70s. It's a movie that is probably considered quite politically incorrect nowadays, but we don't give a stuff about that. And the line is, it's just one simple line, "Excuse me while I whip this out." That's it. Just that. I reckon Jason will get that one straight away. I wouldn't be surprised if Chris does. Guy certainly will. He must have seen this. So yeah, excuse me while I whip this out. Stick your answers in the comments or send me a message or something, or even a meme. I still love my memes. Right, that's it. This will actually run for about an hour 45 by the time I've cobbled it all together. So I don't think I've done too bad this week. I've got my first recording of a podcast this evening at 7 o'clock. So wish me luck. I'm appearing on Guy and Collie's sorry, cauliflower. I'm appearing on Guy and Callie's podcast, Hun Your Geeky Showing. We're recording it tonight at 7 o'clock. It's only for an hour. So I'll be letting you know when that's being sort of uploaded. That's going to be a few weeks away, I think, because Callie is a lot more organised than me. She does her podcasts weeks in advance. But yeah, I'm really, really, really looking forward to that. I'm curious to see how it goes. Little bit nervous, but not too much. I don't want to talk too much, and I don't want to talk too little. But I should be okay. I've been doing this for about over a year now, so I don't think it's going to be that difficult. We'll see how we go. But yeah, really looking forward to that, guys. So I shall catch you two at 7 tonight. Thanks ever so much for joining me. As I say, check out Old AF Reviewers channel. Believe me, you've not seen anything quite like that. Without a doubt. Thanks for joining me, guys. If you've enjoyed the video, just give us a thumbs up and also subscribe. That would be amazing. And I will see you all again probably about the same time next week. Have a great week, folks, and take care of yourselves. Ta-da.